Welcome to a special edition of News 10 at 9. We've got a live studio audience, and we've got all kinds of things to talk about, including what's been a hot topic all this week, cheerleading. Is it a sport? Under Title IX rules, the answer is no, but we're going to take a look at what cheer squads do, and we'll let you be the judge.
So another hot topic. We've been talking about this all week long. It was the recent Title IX ruling about cheerleading. You know what? No, cheerleading, not a sport.
For Title IX purposes.
For Title
we
IX.
have to make that distinction. But we put it out there, and man, you had a lot to say. So we sent Jeff Maher out to catch up with a cheer squad to show us their stuff, and these would be the Cardinal cheerleaders from Laguna Creek High School. Jeff, what do they think?
Well, Dan, we've got the whole squad out here in the gymnasium of Laguna Creek High School. Girls, how are you doing today? All the JV and varsity team, they are set to go. Now, let me ask you girls a question. Do you think cheerleading is a sport?
Yes!
I was thinking that was going to be the response. You know, this did generate so much controversy over our website, on our Facebook page. So many people were debating this. I'm going to bring in the senior coach real quick, Courtney Harshbarger. Now tell me, Courtney, what was your reaction to the court's decision about this ruling here? It sent shockwaves really through the cheerleading community, right?
Yeah, you know, though it was disappointing, it was still really encouraging. They didn't deny the athleticism of cheerleading, and though it's not a sport right now, I look forward to it being a sport under Title IX in the future.
Now, what do you think needs to change to actually make it a sport?
I just think the programs have to change a little bit, you know, maybe have a competitive team and a team that cheers for the team as two separate units.
Because I was just thinking that, you know, one of the reasons they say it's not a sport is because there's no one really scoring them during the games. When they cheer for football or basketball, they're not really in competition per se during the game. It seems like all it would take is someone in the stands, a judge, you know, somehow judging both of the squads there to actually make it a sport. It seems like that's all that's missing, right?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like as a former cheerleader, we always feel like we're in competition with the other side, trying to be the better squad. But it's so much that if there was a judge there, I think it would be considered more of a sport.
I want to see these girls perform, but first you said you wanted me to do something real quick.
Yes, we're going to have you bass.
Bass,
yes,
okay.
We're gonna bass.
Now, who's the unfortunate person who gets to bass with me? It's this one? Is it this one?
Yes, that's your flyer, Tara.
Okay. And you have a knee brace already?
Yes.
Okay, I really hope I don't give you another knee brace.
It's okay.
Okay, so teach me what to do with the bass here.
You go like this.
Okay, I'm holding a microphone, but I'm going to do it like this, okay?
You go like this.
I go like this, okay?
When she goes into Put your foot in, Tara. Nice.
All right. This is really nerve-wracking.
When you go up, your hands rotate like this.
Oh, like this. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Got it.
It's hard to do that and keep your chin down.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, dip. Once, dip. Twice.
Oh, no.
Look at that.
Oh, Jeff Maher.
He had some spotters.
All right.
Bring her down safely off the front, Amanda.
Okay.
Bring it together. Look at you, you're a pro.
All right, good job. Good job. All right, now I want to see an actual performance from you girls. You were showing me a little bit about it. We've got a live studio audience who's just ready to see what you're made of, so let's do it.
Break it down now. Go, go, go. Go, mighty Cardinals, fight, fight, fight. Fight, mighty Cardinals, win, win, win. Win, mighty Cardinals, go. Fight, go, fight, win. Go, go, go. Go, mighty Cardinals, fight, fight, fight. Fight, mighty Cardinals, win, win, win. Win, mighty Cardinals, go. Fight, go, fight, win. 1, 2.
Well, don't you think Jeff could have done that with them too?
No, I'm going to say no.
No?
I'm sorry. I love Jeff, but I'm going to say no.
He's a good bass, but maybe that's where his limits
We'd have
are.
to change the pitch of his voice just a little bit.
He's an okay bass. Let's get
He's
that
an okay
straight.
bass.
Okay.
You know?
So we've got our studio audience here, and we were talking to them before the show started about how they feel about this. There's actually one gentleman over here. What was your name again, sir?
Mike.
Mike. What's your last name?
Avoid topics.
Okay, Mike. We were talking earlier, and you disagree with us. You don't think that cheerleading should be considered a sport.
No.
Why not?
No competition. Nothing on a weekly basis or monthly, whatever it would be. No judges to determine what kind of routines they would do to be compared against. and therefore it's just for the sport it is representing.
So, not a sport, but do you agree that they have to be athletic? Uh-oh.
To some degree.
Okay, so we've got Mike, and we've got one woman over here. Your niece is actually, she was a college cheerleader, right?
No, high school.
High school,
Actually,
okay.
elementary through high school.
All right, so how do you feel about this? You disagree with Mike?
I disagree with Mike in the sense that it is an athletic sport. It's gymnastics, it's tumbling, it's cardiac, it's everything, flexibility. You have to have all those basics in order to perform as a cheerleader.
And what about his argument about nobody scoring it? There's no competitiveness.
There's competitiveness. They have collegiate cheerleading competitions, so they're scoring some kind of way. So I think at this point the sport has to evolve into a legitimate scoring factor so that they can be judged accordingly, everybody on the same page.
So eventually, you think, as we evolve, this might become a sport under Title IX?
It might become a sport under Title IX with some adjustments being made, yes.
All right, so
And
the
Nick,
point of, go ahead, Kiva.
As you guys are talking, I'm watching these girls. They're throwing, they're flying in the air,
They're doing a bunch of stuff.
flipping and all sorts of things. I mean, that takes athletic
Hey,
ability.
also tell Mike that ESPN shows cheerleading competition from time to time. If it's on ESPN, it's got to be
But
a
I think
sport,
Mike's
right?
talking about for
We're
the
gaining
game.
up against you, Mike.
Yeah.
Right, Mike? You're talking
Doesn't
about during
matter.
the game.
What is?
I don't think Mike is ever going to come back to our studio audience.
I do it again.
So the point to have a studio audience wasn't to make them fight. We're going to have some more healthy conversations later on. But look at these girls go. I don't know. This is an opinion. I know this is a conversation that's going to happen a lot more over the next few weeks and months and years, especially as it comes up again. I've got a feeling this decision will probably be challenged. What do you guys think?
Well, it may be, but all they have to do is revise the way that they emphasize cheerleading at that school. Remember, this was a small school, because if you go to the SEC schools like Georgia, where Kiva went,
Right.
you go to the Big Ten schools, they do have legitimate cheerleading competitions there. What I think Mike's point is that you have to make the distinction between the athletic competition for cheerleading and those who are just out there to rile up the crowd.
Right.
And
There's
those
a
are two
difference.
different things.
Yeah. You
And they-
agree, Mike?
Yes, especially at the high school level, right below it.
Right. Okay.
And again, Nick, this came out of a Connecticut school where the volleyball coach actually.
Wait a minute.
Look at
Kiva,
Jeff.
look at Jeff Maher. What is he doing?
Mike, you may be right. There's no athleticism
we
there.
lost
We
it.
cut
See-
that feed. We don't want to see that
Right,
anymore.
it went to black at the right time.
I think Jeff pulled the plug.
You should have.
Yeah.